States. The North has a very flattering view of itself. I mean, if you look at actually living patterns and where demographics live, the fact is, like Boston, significantly more segregated than most parts of Mississippi. But sorry, go ahead. So your question was?
My question is that they were enslaved and they're still.
Yes, of course. Still is the question. Right, so I've never denied, and I would never deny because it would be idiotic, that blacks have been historically discriminated against in America in an unbelievable way, from slavery to Jim Crow. Of course that's true. Jim Crow was ended in the 1960s. The Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964. Last time I checked the calendar, it's now 2016. So it's been quite a while. And the fact is that the poverty rate in the black community was alleviating much more quickly before the rise of the Great Society, during Jim Crow actually, than it has since then. To take another example, as I said, the single greatest indicator of intergenerational poverty is single motherhood. The increased rate of single motherhood is certainly not due to discrimination. And the proof of that is that during Jim Crow, the actual single motherhood rate in the black community was 20%. Today it's in excess of 70%. What happened? Are people more racist now than they were back in 1960? Of course not. So you have to look to other factors for why people are behaving the way they are. So are there people who still suffer the after effects of historic discrimination? I think sure. I mean, the fact that if you don't have wealth from your grandfather because your grandfather couldn't be wealthy because he was a sharecropper in Alabama, yeah, of course. But that goes back to the earlier question, which is, what can government do? What is government capable of doing without violating somebody else's rights? And the answer is not very much, other than guarantee that I don't get in your way. And the beautiful thing about America now is that nobody gives a crap about you, nobody gives a crap about anybody, and that's actually a good thing. Like, I don't think that I don't spend my nights trying to determine how I can keep people down. And nobody really in America does very much. And because of that, as long as people are leaving you alone, in a free country, it's your obligation to make your way. Now, I think that there's a myth that goes around that people can make it from poverty to extreme wealth in a generation. That happens, it does. And the fact is that according to the statistics, if you're in the bottom 20% of income earners, 95% of the people in the bottom 20% of income earners will be outside the bottom 20% of income earners within 15 years, according to the IRS statistics. That said, it's, rising to wealth as a family unit, for example, usually takes multiple generations. I mean, most of our great-grandparents, when they came here, were dirt poor, and now most of the people in this room are probably not, right? And so the fact that there is a delay in that process for a lot of black folks is tragic and horrible, but it doesn't mean there's a shortcut, not in a free country.
Eli, Wilmington, North Carolina. Please go ahead, Eli.
Actually, it's Ellie, different gender.
Ellie, I am so... do you know what?
No
I'm reading off an
problem.
iPad, and that's exactly what it says. I apologize.
No problem at all. I don't want to use my time correcting that. Obviously, the gentleman, I don't want to promote his name, actually, it is quite intelligent. It's unfortunate that he kind of misuses it. I am Jewish, and I have to so strongly object to his trying to portray his own misguided attempts at politics and talking fast. Not all Jews talk fast, and promoting stereotypes. Number one, he does a great disservice to the Jewish people all over the world by promoting his stereotypes, and he's laughing at it, which I find I hold what he's doing in disdain. I just came from a wonderful Jewish film festival here in Wilmington and saw the film The Jewish Cardinal, and this man and the Catholic Polish clerics did far more when they smartened up and had a little more compassion for people than this guy has. And as far as how he treats
Tell
people,
you what, Ellie, politically, Ellie, do you disagree with Ben Shapiro when it comes to his politics as well?
I'm sorry?
Do you disagree with Ben Shapiro when it comes to his politics as well as some of the things you've already mentioned?
I do disagree with him with some of his politics quite a lot, but it's a separate issue to promote some stereotypes against the Jewish people and using his Jewishness
Terrific.
to sell his...
Let's get a response. That was Ellie in Wilmington, North Carolina. Ben Shapiro.
Well, I really didn't realize that the Grim Reaper of the sense of humor was on the loose today. I mean, seriously. I mean, if the worst stereotype about Jews is that we speak quickly, I think we can deal with that. Really, that one ranks real low on the list of stereotypes I'm going to worry deeply about. I'm going to worry significantly more about a president of the United States who's going to promote a nuclear bomb in Iran, and a president of the United States who has routinely leaked Israeli national security information, and a Democratic Party that's gone along with him, and a Republican Party that basically just signed off on it in the Senate. I'm going to worry more about that and less about whether Jews talk quickly.